life goes on. Whether we won or lost last year, life was going to go on. Whether I come back to coach the team this year or not, life was going to go on. The world was not going to stop. Before last year's game, AIA gave me and Lovie Smith the opportunity to do an ad in USA Today. And it was called Beyond the Ultimate. And it was a picture of Lovie and I looking at the Super Bowl trophy, and it talked about two head coaches, their first time at the Super Bowl, everything that was expected, but it gave us a chance to talk about what our ultimate motivation was, and it was not winning that game. And if you wanted to find out what our ultimate motivation was, you could go to www.beyondtheultimate.com and find out. Now, I don't do a lot of ads, I don't do a lot of publicity like that, but I did that for one reason, because it gave me a chance to really talk about what was important in my life and why I coach. I coach because I love the guys I work with, but I also coach because I want to share with them what's important in my life and what God has placed in me and my motivation, and talk about life to my team and not just football. And it was a great experience to be able to do that ad and let people know what the Lord has meant to me. I've had some great experiences in the NFL, 30 years since I first came in as a player. Had a lot of disappointments, some mistakes I've made, balls that I dropped, fumbles, those kind of things, close losses. 18 times my season has ended with a playoff loss, disappointment. But I've also had some tremendous highs and some things that you just wish everyone could experience. Won one Super Bowl as a player with Pittsburgh, one Super Bowl as a coach. In 2005, I signed a contract LaDainian was talking about, to whom much is given, much is required. I signed a contract that pays me more in 1 year than both my parents made in their entire life put together. But the thing that's important to me is that I realize that none of that, the wins, the losses, Super Bowls, contracts, Pro Bowls, none of that is the most significant thing in my life. The most significant thing I learned, as LT did from my mom, that if you don't have the Lord with you, if He's not going on the journey with you, it's not going to be a good result at the end. My favorite verse in the Bible is similar to LT's. It's in the book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 26. Jesus asks a question to a group of people. He says, "What would it profit you to gain the whole world but forfeit your soul?" And it's a great question, because you can have everything that we've talked about. You can have the notoriety that goes with an NFL career. You can have the money. You can have the fame. You can have Super Bowl rings. You can have all that. But if you don't have inner peace, if you don't have a personal relationship with the Lord, if you don't have that security of knowing where your soul's going to spend eternity, all of that stuff won't really help you. Won't help you at all. You've seen some guys today that have gotten a lot of fame and fortune and notoriety, and for just reasons. Derek Brooks, LaDainian, Mike Singletary, Anthony Munoz. They understand that. And they understand that it's great to have all that, but if you can't answer that question about forfeiting your soul, that it won't help you at all. And unfortunately, I've seen that other side of the coin in my 30 years in the NFL. I've seen some guys, I've played with guys and coached guys that you probably have cheered for and cheered very loudly for, and they were tremendous players, and they won a lot of games, and they set a lot of records, and they had a lot of fans. But if you really sat down with them and you asked them that question, what has all that benefited you? What has all that benefited you? If they answered honestly, they would have to say, not much. Not much, because my direction in life wasn't good. The things that are really going to last aren't there. It was a great question Jesus asked. But the fortunate thing for us is he did more than just ask the question. He really provided the answer as well. By coming down to earth, by dying on the cross, by paying the penalty for our sins, he allows us to find that relationship that's so important, that inner relationship with God, and put us back in faith with him. He also promised that anybody that put their faith in him can have that ultimate victory, can have that joy of eternal salvation that doesn't go away with the next loss or the next fumble or the next fourth down that you didn't quite make. Jesus made receiving that gift very, very simple as well. All you have to do is ask him for it. And that's really the essence of the gospel message. That's what it's all about. And that's really the reason that my wife and I come to this Super Bowl breakfast every year. It's great to see the award winners and honor them. It's great to see NFL friends that we've made over the years, and it's great to be in the Super Bowl environment. But that's not really the reason we come. The number one reason we come is to share Christ's message and to help people answer that question. What would all this benefit me? What would winning the Super Bowl benefit me if I don't understand what's going to happen to my soul? And everybody's Super Bowl is different. There are young people out there that I'm sure feel like if I can just get into the college that I want to get to, then I'm going to have it made. There are young boys out there, I'm sure, if I could just play in the NFL like these guys, then I'd be satisfied. Then I'd have it made. If I could just get married to that Mr. Right or Miss Right, then I'd be satisfied. Then I'd have it made. If I can just get that promotion, if I can just close this one deal, Lord, if I can just win my Super Bowl that you put in front of me, then I know I'll be satisfied. The reason I come every year is I don't want you to get to that point. I don't want you to win your personal Super Bowl and realize there's something missing. If you're not doing it with the Lord, if you're not enjoying it with God, it's not going to last for long.